Hello, and happy Easter Monday to you. My name's Miriam, so welcome if you are live and welcome if you are on catch up. And here we are for our regular Monday half an hour, and today we are going to be talking all about pets. That's what we are on today. So hello lovely Bev, nice to have you along with us. And we are here. It's a bit echoey tonight, and the reason why it's a bit echoey is because we are in my bathroom and we are here. Hello lovely Christine, hi Trina. We are here to talk all about pets and how we might look after them. And we are in the bathroom because I have got my girls' bunnies here. So look, I'm going to show you round. Here we go. I've trapped them in the shower. Doodle-doo, there they are. Right, so we've got Muffin and we've got Flopsy, and they are going to be helping us with our live tonight. And do you know what I really love? I love the fact that we can do that in the bathroom. I cleaned it today, but there are no nasty chemicals that are going to be damaging our beautiful bunnies' respiratory system because I just cleaned it with water. So they're super safe and they can hop around to their heart's content. But we're also in here because if I was elsewhere in the house, I can guarantee that our bunnies would mostly be under a bookcase and it would be an entirely different life. Right, so first of all, to kick us off, I've already told you that I have used bathroom ENJO today. So let me know what ENJO you have used today, if any. So I've used loads because I've been in the bathroom, I've done a bit of floors, and we had a beautiful roast dinner tonight, so I've done quite a lot of kitchen ENJO as well. But let me know if you've used anything today or anything this week, and what piece of ENJO maybe you particularly liked to use this week. All right, so you can tell me about that. And while you're doing that, I'm going to say why we are going to talk about pets, because we often talk to you about ENJO relating to our own health. And if you remember, we've been talking a lot, haven't we, about these volatile organic compounds, and that's stuff that starts with a liquid and then it becomes a gas. And we've talked about it a lot in relation as well to how that gives real increased toxicity to our little people, because the toxin is heavier than the air and it drops down, and then it affects our little people because they have smaller lung capacity, they need more oxygen, and it's not so developed. Okay, so let's think about that also in relation to our pets, because it's exactly the same issue for them, that there are high levels potentially of toxicity for them. And so the same thing with the volatile organic compounds, it settles down and then it causes a problem for our pets. Okay, Bev, you can't hear me, you lucky person, people pay for that. I wouldn't go gloating if I were you. You've used Bathroom Zone and Kitchen Glove and ENJO, Suzanne. Fantastic. I love hearing what you've been up to. It's lovely to see you all. And Dust Floor Fibre. Fantastic, Hannah. We're going to get on and we're going to use that later as well. So back to our pets then. Toxins come down. People like the PDSA say we've got a real issue for the chemical uptake for particularly our four-legged friends, because the pads of their feet, although they're very protective for them when they're out and about, right? So dogs don't necessarily need a pair of wellies when they're out and about. What we need in the home is them not to be absorbing lots of toxins through their paws and everywhere else. And so we are going to talk about how we might be able to care for them, predominantly actually using our outdoor fibres and also a bit of skincare. And then after we've done this, you'll be able to see exactly how we get rid of all that hair as well that animals do. So it's great. You've all been really industrious today. No bank holidays there, I see. Everybody's been out and about. Indoor gloves and kitchen zones and skincare and floor systems. Hoogly moogly. what a clean environment we have today. Right, so are your pets curious? I imagine they might be. And as I said, it's our pets are pretty curious as well. We've put them in a little crate only to prevent them going everywhere, but I'm going to move you over here so you can see them. And everything that we talk about today related to bunnies, also we're going to kind of scale up for talking about our cats and our dogs and also horses. I would have loved to be out and about, and I hope as soon as we are released that I will be out and being able to meet some of you and coming to clean with you on a Monday. How exciting. And then we will be able to chit chat through stuff that you are cleaning or particular issues that you have, or because I haven't got a horse wandering around, that would be really great, and I can also come and clean tack with you. So it will be approaching. I was talking to Bev earlier and I was saying, well, what do you particularly like about using ENJO for your pussycats? And she was saying, well, first of all, for her litter tray, what she would do is get the litter tray and put it in the bath and soak it, and she sometimes uses a little bit of the real soap, and she uses a sponge, an outdoor sponge as well, and that just gets rid of all the grot in the litter tray. So you do that as well, don't you girls? So the girls will also do that, and also I thought this was a great tip. Bev was saying she also uses a bit of the calcium dissolver if the wee is really pungent and nasty and she can't get rid of it, all right, out of the litter tray. So that's a brilliant, brilliant thing that you can also use. So if you're talking about litter trays or the hutch, we got gifted a hutch the other day for the bunnies, and we obviously wanted to clean that out really well. So it was back to the living duo, oh my goodness sake, the outdoor duo glove. All right, so that's the strong fibre on there. Lots of other uses around the home as well, but great for doing hutches. So Kathleen, you're saying there that parrots are particularly sensitive to chemicals. So I know that you use the outdoor set to look after the cage. So the litter tray, the hutches, the cages, the outdoor stuff is brilliant. And I know that lots of you for cages really like this cloth. So this is the garage cloth. It's a one-sided fibre, and at the moment, you lucky lot, you can get the garage glove and the cloth and the ENJO fill for 62 rather than 74. Okay, so those details are on my page, but that's that garage cloth. The garage glove, that's the softer one, the one you can also use on your car, but we're going to talk about it in relation to pets today, and also the outdoor ENJO fills. So for 62 rather than 74, that's available till the end of the month. Right, let's get on with the main event. So I'm going to bring you over here so that you can see the girls and they can see you, and they are desperate to get their bunnykins out. So girls, do you want to get out your bunnies? Lovely. So this is Muffin. Hey Muffin. All right, and this is Flopsy. Fantastic. And we thought, well, that we would throw a dice tonight. All right, these are all of our areas that we are going to look at. So body, paws and head, tails, ears. We're hoping to finish up with a picture by the end of the night. So goodness knows if that's going to work out. But we're going to start off. I'm going to throw the dice. Emily, what number is it?
4.
Number 4. Okay, so number 4 is a tail. So I'm just going to draw a little tail, and we are hoping to end up with a whole bunny by the end of the night, because one little tail is not going to get us very far. But let's talk then about tails. All right, let's talk about a bunny's tail and what a bunny might need to be able to clean that area. Now, so Emily's bunny particularly sometimes has a bit of a problem around its tail, and I know that other animals can as well, and this is where you would use your lovely iPad. Okay, so Ingo, I'm so disappointed I can only read half your comment about telling James that you'd use the garage glove on the dog. All right, so I had to read later what he proudly told you. The iPad is fantastic and soft and really helpful on those very difficult bits, all right, of looking after the posterior. And that will do a fabulous job on tails and behinds. So if your dog or your cat or anything else has a wee little accident, or is this one here, Muffin, can we see Muffin a little bit more? So Muffin has recently been to the vets so that we don't have muffets, and so Muffin's scar needed quite some careful treatment, and how fantastic that we could do all of that with that and it didn't aggravate Muffin at all. Okay, so shall we throw dice and we draw another little bit. A number 3, ears, fantastic. Right, I don't even know, there's the pen. All right, so we have a tail, and now we're going to have a pair of ears. All right. There you go, it's on the way. And here we are going to talk about, well, our bunnies here. We don't really clean their ears because that's really not going to be great for them. But I know that lots of you do clean your animals' ears. And again, iPads are brilliant. And we did, around the Christmas time in our pet pack, it had a big towel and it had a tiny little one. And you can also use that to help you with your animals' ears. And it will just get in and around and look after them for you. Okay, so we've got posteriors. Oh, I'm glad we're getting all these little bits over and done with first, and then we can get on to our next one. Okay, right, Emily, can you throw us another little... Oh, a number 1, talking about our paws. So let's have a think about that, particularly about being out and about and animals. So I want to tell you a story, actually. I know it's relating to carpets, but it will relate in exactly the same way, about somebody who we were talking about, do you remember when there used to be shake and vac? And shake and vac was put onto carpets, and then it was meant to make everything smell wonderful and beautiful. And I remember speaking to a lady who said that that completely sent her cat doolally. And there is something in the chemical compound that really poses a problem. So if you imagine, if we start putting down a load of chemicals on the ground, all right, for all these absorbent pads that there are in our little people and our beautiful bunnies here, then that's going to pose a real problem for them because it's going to be all over them. I have a friend who's just got 2 beautiful kittens. I really love them. And she said, well, I've never really felt the need for the floor system before. But now, she said, I don't want my kittens walking all over a nasty load of flash all over the floor, because it's true, isn't it? All of that is going to get absorbed, and that's going to cause them a problem. So the less chemical that we have around the house, then the less they can get absorbed. So whether they are padding around on kitchen surfaces or wherever they are, if they're making any contact with polish or chemicals, then all of those are going to cause a problem. So think about paws and think about absorbency. If you haven't tried out our floor system yet and you've got animals at home, I really recommend that you do that. I'm really glad, Inga, that you're having a little sing-along as well. Brilliant, if only I could hear. Right, where is our, what have I done with it? Oh, brilliant, can you throw it for me, darling? Or a number 4, we've done a number 4, can we have another one?
Number 3.
And number 3, another one. And number 6. Perfect, because that's the body. So now we are on to the main event. My goodness, this is going to be an interesting shaped bunny, but here we go. So, right. Look, I so hope that he gets ahead. All right, we're halfway there. There you go, my lovely. Okay, So here we have got, girls, have you got the sponge? What have you done with it? Yeah. All right. So this is what our girls love to brush their pet bunnies with. All right. And this is our outdoor sponge. And obviously, if you have a large horse, then it's going to take you a little bit of time to get all of this done. But the joy is that it doesn't hurt them in any way. And you can see that Muffin is a particularly hairy little bunny, and so he gets lots of stuff stuck in his hair. But it's exactly the same applies for dry brushing for dogs and for horses, and that's where we would use this one here. Now, there is a time that you might also wash your animal, and I know Nicola was telling me earlier that she washes her dog in the shower using the outdoor sponge that the girls are using right now, and also some of our excellent dandelion soap, and Bella has never smelled so good. But what about if you are doing your maybe your dog has come back having, imagine this, rolled in a nice dead seal, which I know it did for somebody, and they gave it a really good wash with the garage glove, and they said it was amazing. So this stank, but the dog did no longer stink of dead seal, which is jolly helpful. But if I was dry brushing the dog, just the same as the bunny, you can see that Emily's just using that sponge on Flopsy, and it just gets out all that soft hair underneath. Nicola, you're saying it does a really good job on Bella as well. Is that the dandelion soap and this as well? So I know that if your dog is particularly hairy and gives away a lot of hair, you might want to do this outside because it won't trap all of the hair on it. And it's the same for dry brushing a horse, or if the horse is really muddy. I was talking to someone today, she said that this is fantastic for removing those patches of mud that there are on a horse, and then the softer side for creating shine. So I know that at the local shows here that this is much in use on that morning of the show, just to bring your horse into tip-top condition. But fantastic for your dogs as well, and fantastic for giving them a wash. Okay, so this and a little bit of the dandelion soap, it's great, isn't it? Because none of our helpers have any nasty harmful chemicals in it. So you know that even if your dog has a really sensitive coat, it's not going to aggravate it. You only need a tiny bit, all right? And it's going to cut through all of that mud and bits and pieces that you're going to need. So I'm just checking on here that I've said anything. Yes, when they've all rolled, that all dogs seem to have a great ability to roll in things that are really quite disgusting. So this is absolutely fantastic. Get that one to use wet and get this one into use dry, or if it's really gunky, then this will really help with that as well. How are you getting along, girls?
She's so much softer.
Is she? All right, and this is great because you can see that our bunnies are presently shedding. So we're going to talk a little bit about that later as well. Can you carry on? You can see there's quite a lot of bunny stuck in here now, but you can carry on giving them a lovely, great big. There we go. Right, have you got a dice that you can throw for me? Yep. Perfect. And number 2, my goodness, we've got a head. How exciting. It's all happening. Right, so let me draw my bunny head. All right, get rid of that one. There we go. It almost looks like a bunny. It does, Rebecca, I promise. It almost looks like a bunny.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it does. Almost. Ish. It needs eyes.
It does need eyes. Okay, we do need eyes, but let's talk about the head then, and in relation to the eyes. And this is where this little one comes into use again. So I'm just going to put some water on the iPad. And if you have, I know people say that their dogs get really gunky eyes, or maybe they are prone to hay fever. Same for using it for horses when they get hay fever, when they get flies around their eyes. So that is make a real difference just for their eyes. Now, Emily said that Flopsy had some sleep in her eyes this morning. So do you want to pick her up and you can give her a little wash? I have to say, Flopsy can be a little bit nippy. So we'll have to see what happens. Okay? Oh. But I think she'll be okay. There you go. There we go, Flopsy. Okay, so all around our animal's eyes, it's really sensitive. I see Bev saying there, you don't want your cats to be exposed to lots of chemicals. Well, it's the first reason we use it in the first place, but we, you know, often in the same way that for us we would use iPads to get rid of conjunctivitis, we can do exactly the same for our pets. The same applies. It's going to pick up the bacteria that causes those problems. If they've been and they've had surgery, remember, you can use it on the wound just in the same way that you would on yours to enable that healing and not aggravate it any further. So absolutely perfect on all of those. Oh, what peaceful bunnies. Is it done?
Yeah.
Lovely. All right, so that's looked after her eye beautifully, and we can give her a little clean, and she will be just enjoying all of that. Oh, you are very sweet bunnies. Right, so we know that we can give them a brush, okay, with this one, dry. We know as well you can use that damp, particularly on horses, all down their legs where they're really caked in mud. All right, it would be a fantastic job. You can dry them with that. And we did have at Christmas one of these fantastic pet towels, right? And it's an outdoor ENJO. So you can, in the interim, if you haven't got one of these, then you can use your outdoor ENJO for that job, and it would help you dry off your dog, particularly if you only have a small dog, Linda and Scott, then that would do you a perfect sausage dog shape. You could get your outdoor ENJO out, and that would look after them, and it would really help them. I know Bev's saying there that she didn't want chemicals to be around her pets, and it's that, isn't it? They're curious and they want to be into things, and it's fantastic to know that there's just no damage that's going to come to them. There's nothing that's going to aggravate them. They're not going to lick anything. When I first started doing ENJO, so that's what, about 6 years ago, I went to someone's house and she had, oh, a beautiful dog, big lab, but the dog used to lick the bed, had one of those big plastic beds, and used to lick it all the time. And so she said, oh, I just don't know what it is with the dog, but we cleaned the bed with ENJO and the dog stopped completely. So there must have been some sort of chemical compound that the dog really wanted to lick, but it made a real problem. Used the towel the other day. Oh, brilliant. Sarah, that's fantastic. It's really good to hear that the towel has worked so well. For something that looks so small, it's amazing how absorbent it is. And you always keep an outdoor ENJO in the car to help you, oh, clean your little staffies. Oh, brilliant. Fantastic. Yes, Inga, they did do a pet glove and it had two of that side. All right, so it was black and it was yellow stripes, but it was the extreme fibres. So if you didn't get one of those, you can get one of these, and it would enable you to have that job and also to be able to clean them on the other side. All right, so that will really help you as well if you're looking for a little bit more of the pet care. Right, I want to talk about one other thing as well relating to them, and that's what they're eating. And so if you are feeding your dogs carrots or whatever else, then just give them a little clean with a veggie cloth first. All right, so that what they're ingesting is going to be just as good as what we're ingesting as well. All right, so to remove those chemicals. We are going to do at some stage a demo just talking about cleaning tack, because I know that lots of you amazing horsey people have so many great tips, but I really thought we needed to do that in the flesh, which is why we haven't talked about it tonight. But I'm well aware that we do need to do that at some stage too. Okay, so we will be out and about when we're allowed to, and we'll go and clean somebody's tack too. But the one thing, the one helper that's really great for your animals is this, for hoof shine. So if you have been in the past putting something on their hooves to make them look really shiny, all you need for this, or Auntie Rachel for your Highland Coo horns, all right, all you need is a little bit of leather and wood balm, and that will do a beautiful job on the horse's hooves, and it will protect them as well and be nourishing. So that's fab. Right, so girlies, my loves, I think we need to just give this little bunny some eyes, because I think if we're trying to throw teeth and whiskers, okay, there you go, there's our little bunny. So let's talk about the teeth, because the iPad that we've spoken about that for eyes, we've spoken about it for ears, we've spoken about it for any sort of difficulties or cuts or grazes that our animals may have. You can use the iPad on their teeth as well. Does a great job. So if you've got bits of nastiness stuck on your animal's teeth, we're not going to volunteer to do it with the bunnies, all right, then feel free to use the iPad on that as well. In the same way that you can give yourself an emergency dental clean, if you're out and about and haven't got a toothbrush, you can use an iPad. You can do exactly the same for your pets. And I want to use the dust fibre before we go, just so that you can see how effective ENJO is at picking up all of this bunny hair in our case. But people often say, well, how do I really know it's going to deal with all that stuff? Well, we've had these two bunnies. We've got a nice load of hair. Girls, you just want to pick those little munchkies up. Have you got them? No, you can leave Muffin on the floor, that's fine. If you just put the blanket in the shower and pass me the floor system. Can you just pass it to me? Lovely. There we go. I think Rebecca's really keen to have a go. So what do you need to do with it? Where does it need to go up to? Yeah, up to your nose height, so turn it round. Perfect. All right. And I've given this a little wake up. Okay, so we know that that's going to work. So put that one back down again. There we go. All right. Should we put that one in there? Right. Mind your footsies. Right. Off you go. So, yeah, you just have a little go there, just so that we can see all of the hair and how ENJO can help us with that. There we go. Perfect. You're having a little bit of difficulty there. Yeah. Lovely. Okay, so if I bring you back over here and we can just have a wee little chat just to finish. All right, so I'm going to show you this in a minute. But this is really important, isn't it, about what's going on. In the same way that when our kids start to crawl, the last thing that we want is for them to be crawling through chemicals and ingesting those. It's exactly the same for our pets. And so if I just show you the bottom of this fibre, because our bunnies are particularly special and we love them very much, and you can see just there all of that bit of flopsy and everything that's just attached itself to the bottom. It is phenomenal what our dust fibre will hold. That's obviously going to do the brushing bit. I'm then going to want to wash it so that I know that they're really safe. But I would really say, if you haven't tried our floor system, it really is second to none, and it's not going to damage them in any way. So if we just have a little recap from today, there we go. On our Petcare, we've got our outdoor stuff that really looks after the body, and also that you can use that to clean out litter trays and cages, and you can use it to clean out hutches and all of those sorts of things. That's great, isn't it, Bev, that your dust fibre picks up all that cat hair. It's just amazing. Link glove as well on all of your furnishings. And then if we're looking at things like the eyes and the ears and the teeth and any wounds, posteriors, all right, then our iPad will really look after that for you too. So do remember that if you're looking to top up your outdoor stuff, then we have this great deal at the moment, and that will give you that one-sided cloth. It's fantastic for cleaning over things. Remember that I lend stuff out as well, so if you want to try an outdoor glove on your pet, then feel free to do that, and I can lend you one of those. You trimmed your beard in a bath. That's not a pet, Chris. Well, maybe it was a pet beard. All right, it is amazing, isn't it, at picking up all that hair. Right, can I just borrow a muffin a minute? Right. So we love this bunny. Look at him. Is he not just the cutie pie? All right. So what we want is for him to be as happy as possible whilst he's living here. And so I would say it's just great that they can hop around here, and it's just been with water, and they're really, really super safe. So thank you all for coming along. Oh, there we go. Oh, you're not going or you're staying? Never work with children or animals, particularly in the same episode. Right, there you go. Right, you got it? Perfect. I hope you've all had a lovely Easter. I know it will have been slightly different, but I hope that a little bit of Easter bunny joy coming your way, that you've enjoyed that. And I really look forward to seeing you all live Monday next week at 8 o'clock, and we'll talk a little bit more about ENJO in relation to something that is bound to appear during the week. All right, so if you have any questions, or if there's something that you would really like us to have a look at, then please drop me a note and get in touch. Remember that everything is also stored on YouTube, all right, so that you can have a look at those later, or if there are other people that you think would really benefit from hearing about ENJO, then please put us in touch, because we just think it's the best thing, and it's going to help folk with their health, and also the health of their pets and children, etc, etc. So our way of saying thank you very much for doing that at the moment is, we spoke about this last week, but we have this our amazing combi wiper that we spoke all about last week. You can have as a seasonal host discount for half price. My goodness, everybody needs one of these. Right, so we will say goodbye from these two.
Goodbye. Bye.
And goodbye from these two.
Bye.
Hello, little bunnies. And goodbye, everybody. And I hope you enjoyed lots of chocolate. All right, have a great week. I'll catch you next week. Cheers then. Bye-bye.